My name is Tom Strodtbeck, and I run a company in Liverpool, which is where I live, and a part of an innovation firm based in London called the Accelerator Network. The Accelerator Network pulls in a number of different resources and runs innovative, high growth potential startups through a series of 6 steps to get them from their idea to where they can be funded and grow and scale. And I work with them on their international projects. So I work with international stakeholders, international funders, sovereign wealth funds, VCs, on how they can implement this 6-step process to encourage technology growth where they are. That's what I do. When I spend time with startups, I tend to focus on how they approach their very earliest customers, meaning how they identify the people who might be a customer of them and how they start an interrogation process, which sounds a terrible way to put it, like they're under lights and stuff. But what I want early stage companies to do is talk to people who they think their customers are going to be and get a context around them that they make decisions in. Not just about the product they're making, but really about a lot of different things, so that the startups can see how they're actually solving a problem for the customers. Startups always think they have a solution to a problem, but until the customer sees that solution or until the startup can identify the problem through the customer's eyes, it's a very, very difficult sell. You don't quite have a market yet. And the earlier you can do that in the process of a startup, the better. So one of the things that DHEZ would do with startups, hopefully, is help them identify who those early customers are and get them to start talking to them really, really early in the technology development process. Well, the core of my business over the past really 11 years has been working with DHEZs of the world. And even today with the Accelerator Network, I'm not necessarily interested in entrepreneurs directly. I'm interested in those who support them. And so, yeah, how DHEZs get organized on the enterprise side, because it'll do other stuff too. It'll do some advocacy stuff. It'll do some connection stuff that are just, networking oriented. But once they start getting into the enterprise and the venture side, starting to work with people with ideas and digital health technologies, then it becomes a different thing. And what you're talking about is what they need to do. They need to pull together advisors and mentors. Advisors typically are people with domain knowledge, people who know how to code or know how to market or understand how NHS procurement, which would be a big deal. So you get experts on that to come through. Mentors that can help people one-on-one, deal with some larger strategic stuff. DHEZ is going to look for money, not just support money, but venture money, the kinds of money, grants and things like that that can support entrepreneurs. And definitely the challenge that places like this have with technology is talent and how you recruit talent. There's certainly going to be a lot of talent in Leeds, Bradford. It's a big area, it's got great universities, but you always keep in mind that every area in the world, London, Silicon Valley, New York, Boston, Frankfurt, all struggle and fight over talent. They do. So if I were to talk about DHEZ and I look at the challenges and things they're going to do, one of the areas I'd put into place is to make sure there's a talent recruitment structure here, because that's what your company's going to need. And you solve that problem, you solved a big problem for a startup, I'll tell you that. I think events like this are really, really important. And the important thing for DHEZ is to do it regularly, because if I were structuring this, and again, this is from 10 years of looking at these programs, what these organizations do is they kind of set themselves up as the center of entrepreneurship in the region by bringing people through it all the time, making it very accessible, having events for everybody, doing youth entrepreneurship events, doing special events for researchers, university folks, doing things for college students, doing open houses, and beer and pizza. Beer and pizza seems to be pretty important in the entrepreneurship, and coffee in the entrepreneurship world. But constantly recognizing that outreach is really, really important. Bringing in guest speakers. We think at TAN that's where everything starts. Is finding those few people that have a really good idea that might be turned into something that's scalable and fundable. So yeah, I think this is critical to the success of the organization. I really do. That's not because I'm not saying that because I'm here. I really believe that's important.